DILR.
Yeah.
How should one, if there is a target of let's say 30 odd, how should they?
DILR typically last year CAT went into five sets, five questions per set. And the year before that, it was six questions and four questions. So basically, every set is coming in with 15 to 18 marks or 12 marks, 12 to 18 marks on average. So if I'm targeting 30 marks, I need to be able to to be able to solve two sets under the time limit of the exam. Now, here there's a slight difference in data interpretation logical reasoning. If you apply the Quant's logic to this, if I know three sets, I should be able to solve two in the exam. And I should be able to get to my 30 marks in DILR, which will give me a 97, 98 percentile, if not 99. It might give me a 99 percentile also. Last year, if I remember correctly, 40s, early 40s में 100 percentile आ गया था DI में. That means three sets किसी ने solve कर लिया तो 100 percentile था. तो DLR में एक problem ये है कि when you pick up when you start solving the DLR sets inside the exam, if you have reached a point where you are where you have the ability and skill to solve three out of four sets and you don't have the ability to solve the fourth one, when you pick up a set in the exam, your mind will always be fragmented and it will always be in shreds, trying to think whether this is the fourth one that that I can't solve. So the psychological angle, and then what happens is even things that you can do, you will not be able to do inside the exam. So in DILR, preparation has to be such that you have to reach that point. There's a point of skill, and once you have a skill, the next point is the point of belief. So when you live with a skill, for some time you start believing it, right? Like you learned how to cycle, and then as you kept cycling, after some time you got to a point where you believe that you could cycle anywhere. So similarly, in data interpretation logical reasoning, that reaching that belief point is the most critical point. You give me anything, I'll solve it. So वो point पे तुमको पहुंचना पड़ेगा, and the process in DILR, as you know, and you should realize, those of you who do not know this, in data interpretation logical reasoning, the process is built on on problem solving experiences. There's no theory in data interpretation. There are no chapters in data interpretation. Pie chart is not a chapter in data interpretation. It's just a type of data representation. It's not a chapter. So it's not like in quants you're studying number systems and averages. So you go and study pie charts in data interpretation. It's not really a chapter. So in logical reasoning, you don't have chapters, you have question types. So there's no theory to these angles. It's just about problem solving experiences. So 100% of your learning in quants, 90% of 80 to 90% of your learning is through problem solving experiences. In DI and in LR, 100% of your experiences are or of your learning is through problem solving experiences. Out of that, how much you want to do in an assisted form. And again, problem solving experiences are two kinds, assisted and self. So you take assistance. It's like how you learn. Let's say somebody has a broken leg and he's just got back with, let's say, a metal implant in his leg for some reason. So when he learns to walk back, he'll first walk with assistance for some time, and then ultimately he has to start getting rid of that assistance, getting rid of the clutches, and walk on his own. So similarly, in DI and LR problem solving, you have to reach a point where you tell someone or you tell your teachers that I don't need you any longer. Mentally, of course, not no, don't disrespect your teachers or who is teaching you, but mentally you have to tell yourself that I don't need any assistance any longer because I am good enough to do it on my own. So reaching that point is very important. Otherwise, you open the DILR section in the CAT and you're picking the first set, and your mind, at the back of your mind, you're getting this message. ये चौथा वाला set तो नहीं है जो मेरे को नहीं आता है. So then your mind get completely shredded in the exam, and as you know, वो easier sets में भी कुछ ना कुछ twist turn डाल देंगे, तुम नहीं कर पाओगे उसको, and then the cost of not doing a DILR set inside the exam is 10 to 15 minutes, and it's very difficult to recover from that. So if you are serious about the CAT, even if you're planning to solve only two sets in the exam, you have to reach the point where you know everything and you have that belief in yourself that I can solve any set you give me. I can solve it in 20, 25 minutes. If you give me 25 minutes, I'll be able to solve any damn set you give me. And then once you reach that point, then of course, from getting to a point where you can solve any set in 15, 20 minutes, once you reach that point of skill, the next part of the work is speed. So you then start saying, okay, I'm right now solving typical sets, cat level sets in 15, 18 minutes. How do I become a 12 to 15 minute solver? Then you ask yourself, once you reach, so you increase your efficiencies of solving by starting to pick things in the first reading, by reducing the amount of writing you do, by calculating fast time calculation based questions, etc. So you start building those skills along with or the speed along with building these skills. And you once you reach and as you start cutting down time, once you start reaching a 12 to 15 minute timeline, okay, give me any set, I'll solve it in 12 to 15 minutes. Your next challenge becomes, can I become a 10-minute solver of a set? So you keep raising efficiencies after that, right? So just like a sportsman, once a javelin thrower knows how to hit 90 meters, he says okay, I want to do this consistently, so that on the day of the competition I can do it. And then later he says, okay, why not 92 meters? So once you stabilize on 90, then you start saying, okay, I'll go further. So same thing happens here. Once you stabilize, okay, 12 to 15 minutes I can do any set. You then have the confidence that I'll be able to do the 2 sets in the exam, because you have 40 minutes and you've got all the 4 sets. You just have to select the 2 you want to do and do them. Right? But reaching that point is very important. Otherwise, the mind will completely shred in the exam, and you'll not be able to do a single step.